Hey guys, it's Camilla from Code with Camilla. Today we are going to be learning about variables. Daddy, what is that?
Well, there are three things you have to learn in order to learn how to program. Number one is variables, next conditions, and finally loops. If you learn these three things, you are pretty much able to write any program. There are two main reasons why we want to use variables. First, variables can be used to substitute values in our formulas, exactly like you do in algebra, and we're going to see how we do that in today's lesson. Second reason is to store temporary information. We're not going to go over this one today. It's going to be the next lesson, but today we're learning about substitution. I think it's easier to explain those substitution on example. Imagine there are three people working in a restaurant, and each person, I'm going to draw this, stick people, person 1, person 2, and person 3. So they work 8 hours each, but they paid differently. Person 1 is paid $10 per hour. Person B paid $9. And person 3C is paid $11. So in 8 hours, what do you think the daily pay would be for each person?
Well, person 1, they're going to be paid $80. Person 2, they're going to be paid $72. And person 3 is going to be paid $88.
Right. And how do you know that? What you do, you calculate following expression. You multiply the number of hours, 8, by hourly pay. In algebra, it would be called like x, right? So when you multiply 8 by 10, you get 80, 8 by 9, 72, 8 by 11 is 88. In this case, x is a variable, so it varies for different people. That's why if you want to calculate daily pay, you just substitute the value of your variable and calculate the daily pay.
But how can you do that with programming?
Now let's see how you do it in programming. We will start Visual Studio. How you start this? Oh, here, right?
Okay, so this is Visual Studio, which is basically a software used for writing programs, and usually this is necessary when you want to start programming. So we have two links, one for Mac and one for Windows, on how to install Visual Studio so you can start programming in the description box below.
Thank you, Camille. So let's start our new project. And for this video, we want to try in .NET Core App Console application. Next, we're going to call it variables. Create. If you watch our third video, it's Visual Studio creates like a sample application. The only thing it does, it prints hello world. Instead, I'm going to remove this. We're going to see how we can use variables. So in order to use variables, you have to use some keywords in C#. So you type var. If it was algebra, we would call it the variable called x. 10. So what we're doing here, var is we declaring a variable. So you have to declare variables. So you have to say the next line is our variable. So this is what var says, and you see it's green. There are other green parts. Visual Studio helps you to it does highlight some keywords so you know what it is.
Why is there a semicolon after the 10?
Each line in C#, and it's only so in different languages there are different ways to say this line is finished. In some languages you just do enter, you go to the next line. In C#, you use semicolon in order to make a difference, so to say this line ended. Okay, let's go back to variables.
It's like a period in a sentence.
Yeah, exactly like a period. So when we declare variable, we say var name of the variable equal sign is saying it's called assignment. So it assigns value 10 to variable x. So if you want to print this variable, you can use our console write line function, and if you click on this triangle, it's going to start the program, and it's going to print value of x on the screen. You see, it printed 10 because that was the value. If you put 11, so what do you think it's going to happen?
It's going to change it to 11.
So it's going to print 11 because that's what x is. So x was assigned value of 11.
What if you want to change a variable value but you can't find where you originally put it?
What do you mean?
Like if you can't, if you have a very long program and you eventually find out you want to change this completely and you don't know where it is because you have a lot of programming, how do you change that?
So what you can do, you can right click on a variable, navigate, you can say find references. So it's going to tell you each line where the x was used. It's Visual Studio helping you to find the things you need. But that's not what we're trying to learn right now. So we want to calculate daily pay, right, for that employee. And the daily pay, if you remember, was 8 multiplied by x. So what do you think is going to print on the screen now?
Well, since now it's asking to multiply by 8, it would probably be the product of both 11 and 8.
So what's going to print?
88.
88. See? So why variable was useful in this case? You kind of wrote an program which prints the daily pay, and you can change the variable to a different value, run it,
Now it's going to be 80.
and it's going to do those calculations depending on your variable. So it's going to substitute. What's different between algebra and software development is that we developers like to call variables, give them meaningful names, because there are going to be lots of variables in this program. So you want to have a meaningful name. X is not, doesn't tell me anything. So if you were writing an application, how would you call your variable?
I don't know, something funny that I'll remember.
What that variable was? What was that variable? What was 10 in this case?
Well, the pay.
It was hourly pay, right? Hourly pay. So it makes sense to call it
Hourly pay, so
hourly
you'll always
pay.
know what it is.
Yes. Let's see if we can build it. So if you click Command K, it's going to try to build, and says, oh, the red, usually red means error, right?
Yes.
So something happened. The thing is, variables have some rules. Variable names have some rules.
Is it because you didn't substitute the x down there for hourly pay and instead just put x?
That's it. Let's see. Let's change it. Let's do hourly pay. Try to build it again. Now we have 2 errors. Again, the reason is because variable names have some rules. Let's see those rules. The rules are following. Variables have to start either with letter or underscore. So you can call your variable name h. Let's move this one. And it builds. It's warning yellow doesn't mean it's okay. It's not red. Okay. So or you can call it underscore. Builds. But if you call it what was that? Okay. So another one can contain letters, digits, or underscores. So it can start with letters, but it cannot start with numbers or digits. Let's see. Error.
Why can't it start?
These are the rules for variables. But the second and next letters in the variable name can contain letters, digits, and underscores. Spaces are not allowed.
So that's where we messed up.
Yeah, so you can do x1 and it builds. You can do underscore 1 and it builds. But you cannot do x space. You cannot even do x space x. Variables are case sensitive. So if you call the variable myvar in lowercase or myvar in uppercase, those are different variables. So variable x is so you see this is error because it says you cannot declare the same variable twice. But if you make it x uppercase, it's fine because this is a different variable. Also, keywords are not allowed. Like you see this static, it's a keyword. So if you call static, error.
How do you know the keywords?
There are several keywords. We're gonna have a list in our description, but for now you just need to know that keywords are not allowed, and it's not too many keywords. It's like a couple dozen. Anyway, so if you want to call this hourly pay, how we can fix it? So we had hourly pay variable, and C# didn't like it. So there are 2 ways to fix it, right? At least 2 ways. We can do underscore. Let's see. It builds. Or you can do uppercase. Why uppercase? Because it's easy to read. Imagine if you had a variable called my long variable name. It's just unreadable, right? What you can do underscore variable name. Now you can read it. Or you can do uppercase every time when you're starting a new word.
Variable.
Okay. It's also readable.
Yes.
So for our hourly pay, how are you going to call it?
we can call it, so capital H, hourly, underscore, capital P, AY.
Let's see if it's gonna build. Yay! It does build. So now we can calculate our daily pay as 8 multiply hourly pay, and we can run the program and see what's gonna be
80.
80. And it works. So now it's your turn, Camille. Let's do one exercise. Calculate average of two numbers, 125 and 79. How are you gonna do it?
So I want to assign two variables, right? So I'll assign 125 as x, and then I'll do another variable. How do you do that?
What did you miss? How you finished the line?
Oh, semicolon. And then I'll do, I guess, y equals 79, semicolon. And then in the console, I'll write, so parenthesis, x plus y, and then outside I'll do divided by 2.
Okay, run it.
$102.
Good job. Now, can you change those variables to 97 and 203?
Okay. Okay. So
97
and
203.
and then we run again.
I said 150. and
Good
then
job.
the gigantic one.
That's the end of our video for today.
Okay, bye guys. See you next week at Code with Camilla.